Any country, and I don't mean just India, will be assessed in terms of its economic performance by its energy utilization. I used to say till some months ago that energy is the backbone of the economy or the lifeline of an economy. No matter which way you look at it. Today, if energy consumption is slowing or declining, it's a sure sign that economic performance is, beginning to put up some red flags. India, in the 3.5 years of my being associated with this ministry, our oil consumption, crude oil consumption, has gone up from 5 million barrels a day to 5.5 million barrels. My speaking notes would say this will go up to 6.5, 7 million barrels a day. Not in the long future, in the short to medium term. So crude oil consumption will go up 20%, maybe more, 25, 30%. And along with that, you add all the other developments. You mentioned biofuel blending. We had a target of 20% blending. I've been speaking non-stop now for about 3 months, so forgive me, including at India Energy Week, but I'll come back to that minute. Then I was in doing prachar on the budget, then I was in Punjab yesterday before and so on. So forgive my throat, but it'll hold. Biofuel blending, our target for 20% blending was 2026. And the Prime Minister has put in place an ecosystem. We have, you said almost reached it. We have reached it. Pankaj, 19.6% हो गया पिछले महीने, तो अगले महीने 20% तो कर ही लोगे. Today, any country that can achieve a biofuel blending target 6 years in advance means something is going right there. You talked about CBG. One area which I find is not getting enough attention is green hydrogen. You need two things for green hydrogen. One, you need a demonstrated capacity to bring down the price of clean solar energy, which we've done. We brought it down from 25 cents a unit to 3 cents a unit. And you need electrolyzer. Since the Honorable Prime Minister announced the electrolyzer PLI being productivity linked incentive scheme, and made a provision for 19,700 crores, just about every electrolyzer manufacturer in the world today is in India, either jointly with an Indian collaborator or solely, and a lot of young startups. I have youngsters coming to me and say, sir, I have made a membraneless electrolyzer. I went to BPCL, is not here today, the CMD. He took me in one of the India Energy Weeks thing, where along with BARC, our atomic energy establishment, they utilized a technology which we normally use in our submarine. I'm a former joint secretary in the defense ministry because, you need to keep the crew inside a submerged platform, a submarine, with oxygen. So they split it and keep the oxygen and get rid of the rest. Fantastic innovation. Of course, it's a pilot project just now. The point I want to make, Mr. Verma, is that India is spending currently something in the vicinity of $150 billion on imports of different forms of energy. Green hydrogen, we have demonstration buses, 15 of them plying in Delhi, thanks to IOCL and Tata Motors. We have other forms of collaboration. Somebody asked me, when will green hydrogen take off in a really purposeful way? And I can tell you, today the price of green hydrogen, a lot of people come and give me BS that, sir, बहुत कम कर दिया, ये कर दिया, Australia में बना दिया, $5, $4. Look, I think the lowest anybody has got on green hydrogen per kilo price is about $4.5. $4.5. If you can bring it down, and I'm sure we can, why can we bring it down? Because we've got breakthroughs in technology like pump storage. You bring it down from $4.50 to $2.50, I'll tell you there'll be a revolution of the likes of which the world has never seen. There'll be a massive shift from traditional energy to green hydrogen. And you know, the beauty of green hydrogen is those buses can be plying in Guwahati and other parts of the northeast. All that they emit on the roadside is water vapor. That is the beauty of energy transition. So I think, with all that you've said, absolutely correct. But I think the real revolutionary change is now coming. Why do I say now?